You'll notice when you come to Pioneer Wealth that the folks that work here aren't your traditional, what most people think of as a financial planning environment. We're not always the completely buttoned up suit and tie guys. We allow people to be themselves. I think it's really important in any relationship, whether it's employee-employer or advisor-client, that everyone, especially when you're having tough financial type conversations, that you're comfortable where you are. That applies to our employees, so you'll see that they just are who they are, and that's okay. That's part of the Pioneer Wealth culture, is we recognize that everybody has different backgrounds and different personalities, and they bring that to the relationships that they're building with clients and the relationship that they're building with the company. So hopefully when everybody comes and visits us at Pioneer Wealth, you'll notice that. You'll notice the level of comfort that exists because we allow people just to be themselves. Talking about money and finances is very challenging for almost everybody. Everybody has an emotional relationship with money, and usually it comes from how they were raised or how their parents dealt with it, or maybe experiences that their parents had or grandparents had. How their parents talked to them about various financial events that were going on in life when they were growing up. All of these things build anxiety around money, and society in general makes us all anxious about money in some way. We live in this capitalistic, consumer-driven economy. So people have this fear and anxiety about everything related to money, including talking about it. What I've found is that in the beginning of a relationship, it's very obvious that a lot of clients come into it with these barriers that they've built up around these conversations related to their finances. And towards the end of the process, one of the best things is realizing, and I think the clients realize this, and we obviously know this, that having clarity around what the future looks like, your financial future looks like, or at least knowing what all options exist out there, empowers you. That information, that knowledge empowers you, and those anxieties start to melt away. Having those conversations, those tough financial conversations back and forth, help you build that muscle of being able to have those conversations. But then knowing that there's these lights at the end of the tunnel, if you will, really helps melt away those anxieties. I still really believe that fundamental truth that as human beings anywhere in the world, but definitely in the US, you can create the life that you want. And then the question is just, how do you do that efficiently? It could take you 80 years to create that, or you could just break things down into more efficient ways. But to do it efficiently, you need to understand the financial world that you're working in. So I see our role as, first of all, figuring out what that is that people want to create. And it could really be anything. Anything. I've seen amazing stories of what people's goals and dreams are. I'll give you an example. I have a client who's a vet and a veterinarian. And his dream in his mid-20s was, I want to work 6 months a year, work my butt off, make a ton of money, and then take 2 years off and go travel the world. And it's not something that's impossible to do. You could really create it. And some people would tell him, no, you shouldn't do that. You should make a lot of money, save a lot of money, and keep doing that. Keep saving and working and saving and working and saving and working. But that wasn't his dream. His dream was, I want to take 2 years off every 6 months, every 7 months. And we created that. He's now in Hong Kong, I believe. So our role is really identifying, helping push the conversation along of what is it that you want to create out of this life. We've all got a limited amount of time here on this planet. What is that you want that time to look like? And then working backwards and saying, all right, well, let's do this and this and this, and we can get there if we do it the right way.